Well, fellas, I mean, it's that time of year. Obviously, the election is approaching. Nick Bosa, after their win over the Dallas Cowboys, interrupts Brock Purdy's interview with a MAGA hat on. Let's keep politics out of sports, and you know how they say, shut up and dribble. What are your thoughts on what he did and then saying later that he didn't want to talk about it?
Everybody say keep it out of sports. But Jerry said some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I think he has the complexion for the protection. Wasn't Kaepernick's political? Kaepernick still talking about he working out. You can't tell me Kaepernick ain't better right now than some of these damn quarterbacks taking the field in the NFL right now. Keep the politics out of sports unless you look a certain way. And then you can say whatever you want and it's cute and they laugh it off. But that's what it is. You can't do it now because with the social media and the people retweeting and reposting and texting, you can see what side people are on at all times. You know what side people are on. But I just don't think he'll get criticized because of the fact that he's a clean-cut American white boy and it was just a hat. That's what I say with them. But if he was a big old black dude from the hood, they would make it a bigger deal than it is. I really believe that way. He's a NFL family, his daddy, his brother, and all that stuff. I think Nick has the complexion for the protection.
I think a lot of it comes back to, you said protection for the complexion. A lot of favoritism comes into play. If it had been, someone like one of us, it would have been all over the media. The fact that we were fined for the hat, because it's a finable offense for the people that don't know that. It shouldn't have been anywhere near the field. So it was just a prop that they hid on the sideline he was able to get to sort of make an ass of himself. Again, we should leave our political views out of sports. If that's what the rules are, that's what the rules are. But you have guys like Nick Bosa who did it right around the time when Kaepernick was trying to make a stance for what was right. He was one of those people who sort of went the other direction and ended up apologizing about it. So you are who you are, and at these times, all of that tends to come to light. A lot of people in this time of the year tend to reveal them true selves. Even the comments that the guys made during Trump's rally, about Puerto Rico and all this other stuff. But I hate that it has to be that way, for people to feel that way and just to act beyond themselves. But again, I think it's a true showing of who they really are at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think when Nick Bosa shows up in a MAGA hat during Brock Purdy's interview, he knows exactly what he's doing. Never before has sort of partisanship had divided the country in the way that it has. Since 2016, that's been what it is. And when you say make America great again, what was so great about it before? What part of America are you trying to get to? Based on what we're hearing coming out of many of these campaign rallies, there's only one side that truly degrades and speaks negatively of the differences in other people, where they're from, the colors of their skin. There's only one side that does that. And I've worked really hard since 2016 to try to separate the people that support Republicans from the Make America Great Again people, because it was hard for me to believe that you weren't racist, right? And there's a long following of Nick Bosa's tweets where it's a lot of pushback against the culture, which is weird because in the locker room, it's such a melting pot of people where you accept one another's differences. I also think it's sort of ironic this happens in San Francisco, where Colin Kaepernick legitimately lost his career, not because he said America is a bad place, because he said, I want to make America a better place for people like us. Not because he said that he wants brown and black people to be superior to others, but just equal. He wanted their lives and our lives to matter as much as everyone else's life. The MAGA movement has been very clear that all lives don't matter the same, that all people aren't sort of deserving of the same treatment, of the same compassion, of the same level of life and liberty. And so I do think that the shut up and dribble thing that always is told to the LeBron Jameses when he speaks up against police brutality, to the Colin Kaepernicks when he speaks up against police brutality, to all of these athletes who were involved in movements in 2020, it only seems to go to the athletes that look like us, to the people that are speaking for the marginalized and the minorities as opposed to the majorities. Because when 45 called Colin Kaepernick and other people who kneeled sons of bitches, nobody told him to keep politics out of sports. So it seems very clear to me. Nick Bosa understands that when you wear that hat, you take a side. You take a side of division in a sport that's supposed to bring us together. I'm just waiting for all the people who comment under political and sports things to shut up and dribble or to shut up and play football to tell him to shut up and rush. But they ain't gonna say it because they feel the exact same way he do.
Don't hold your breath.